You've raised the issue of treaties. I'm the head of delegation for the Pan-African Parliament. So those in Kenya, we joined the other 55 countries in South Africa to debate issues to do with Africa. And there are many, many conventions that have not been ratified. Not just by Kenya, but across the board. Countries can sign, but ratification is a process of parliament. So in Kenya, it has to go through National Assembly for it to be ratified. But the new constitution in Kenya also changed so that if Kenya commits itself to an international treaty, it becomes part of the law.
Automatically, without ratification.
It is supposed to be automatic. But ordinarily, again, that process is like so engraved within us that there is a demand that it has to pass through parliament. Because again, when it passes through parliament, there are things that, let me just say, they are put within the Kenyan context. But there is that provision in the constitution that we should adapt. When we adapt, it becomes part of the law. But for practical purposes, there is still need to process it through National Assembly and Senate. So in terms of delaying this signing or processing for it to be adapted, it cannot be a reason why there are abductions. In fact, it cannot explain that at all. However, you see, when the Office of the Attorney General is called before the Senate or before the National Assembly to explain an issue, they will give explanations in terms of their thinking on the best way forward. Maybe one of the things they are trying to say is that we need to strengthen the law that is around enforced disappearances and abductions and so on. But from where I sit, that cannot be a reason why we should not have action being taken against people who are suspected to be involved in abductions. Let me also say that as we stand today, if you take any person and willfully hold him against his will, then there is an offense that is committed right there. So even without this international convention, we still have enough law that will cover us in case people are able to identify those abductors and take them to court. The problem we are having, Fred, is that up to now, and I keep going back to the case of the Law Society and the ICJ, was it ICJ or Kenya Human Rights Commission? The problem we have is that those people who are supposed to have been abducted and then released, they don't record statements. They don't give leads to the investigations, investigative institutions as to where they were and what they were doing. So again, stories about people going dancing after abductions, they cloud the entire process. So what I would say is that besides all these drama, the sideshows, I think the processes, the legal processes ought to be followed. If you have been abducted, it's important for you, whether released, under any circumstances. Maybe you paid ransom, maybe you are released because maybe your abductors thought they're not gaining anything. The correct thing to do is to report this matter to your nearest police station. Okay. Is to insist on the investigations. That's the way to get the action done. Because up to now, Fred, since the discussions about abduction started, nobody has been arrested. Nobody has issued evidence to say, we think it is so and so and so.
Senator, I hear you. But there's a big concern here, and allow me to welcome Barak Muluka to the panel. Barak Muluka is a strategic